Refreshing stories. My name is Hiroshi Ohira. I'm a college student currently attending Skatto University, and I'm a senior there. Currently, I'm right in the middle of applying for jobs and interviewing for multiple companies. Hey Mom, I'm home!
Oh, Hiroshi, welcome home! So, how did your interview today go?
To be honest, I don't think the reaction was that great. I don't feel like it went that well.
Oh my, really? Well, there's no need to get upset about it. Cheer up! Because, after all, you're the son of your father and myself. I'm sure everything is going to be fine. Keep your head up and on to the next one.
Yeah, thanks Mom. Both of my parents were actually scholars who both had genius-level intelligence. I was raised by parents like this, and when I was a child, I was a genius with an IQ of 200.
Hey, honey, Hiroshi, why don't you guys take a break and we can have a snack? I made donuts for today's snack.
Yay! I love donuts!
Hey Hiroshi, why don't we do a little quiz as usual before snack time? If you can solve this riddle, then I'll give you my donut too.
Okay, yeah, I'll do it!
Well then, here it is. Do you think you can solve it?
Let's see. It's a collection of random alphabet letters. Oh, I know!
Oh, well that was quick. Alright, let's hear it. What's the answer?
This is... Well, at first, all of the alphabet letters that are written, they're written by skipping over the next letter. For example, starting with A, then you skip over B and land on C, but if it's B, then you skip over that and land on D. And then, once you get the right letters, and then you rearrange them, it turns into a phrase.
I see. So far so good. And what does the phrase say?
It says, delicious donuts! You used alliteration, didn't you?
You're correct! That was amazing, Hiroshi!
That's our little Hiroshi. Well done, honey.
Well, you promised me, Dad, so I get to take your donut, right?
I guess I have no choice.
Oh, come on. You don't need to be so greedy with the donuts. Nobody's gonna take them from you. There's also more in the kitchen.
And in this way, when I was a little kid, every day was full of laughter, and I had the happiest childhood. However, unfortunately, that didn't last long. Hey, Daddy! When are you going to come back home? I want to answer your riddles again!
I'm sorry to make you worry, Hiroshi. But don't worry, I'll be home soon, with a lot of new riddles for you. And then we can have our riddles before snack time again.
Around the time that I turned 5 years old, my father fell ill, and he was hospitalized in a huge hospital. At that time, any time that I would see him, he would always be smiling and tell me that he would be home soon. I couldn't wait to solve more riddles with him. However...
Honey, this is about Hiroshi, but...
What is it, dear?
Up until now, we've raised him and really developed his intelligence. But if we keep this up, I'm worried that there's a possibility he won't be able to assimilate with the other kids in school. So that's why I want to ask you, from now on, can you raise him just as a regular kid? No special treatment?
You're right. Okay, I will.
Thank you, honey.
Honey? Honey? No!
And then, in the end, my father never came home. He traveled straight up to heaven from the hospital. I was 5 years old, and obeying my father's dying wishes, my mother tried really hard to raise me as any normal child. I know that she tried, but...
Hey, Hiroshi! Can you come over here for a second?
What is it?
I have a surprise for you! Ta-da! I bought you a new game console. What do you think? I heard that this is really popular amongst kids your age right now. After dinner, why don't we play the game together?
Yeah, thanks, Mom. But honestly, I'd rather do this with my time.
What? Oh, come on. You're reading such a thick book again.
I had already recognized that I was curious and loved taking in new information more than others. And I just loved studying so much that there was nothing my mother could do about it. I kept that momentum throughout my entire childhood, and I was able to get into one of the most notoriously difficult universities with ease, Skatto University. And 4 years later, I'd maintained the top grades in my class as I approached my senior year. What should I do about trying to get a job? I guess I could become a government employee, or I could also stay in school and continue to do some research, but at the end of the day, I really want to go out into the world of business and see how much my skills can be put to use. It's worth a shot. And that's what brings me to today. When it comes to the first round of the hiring process, which was always a paperwork application, I would have no problems getting past that round. But as soon as it would become time for the interview, things simply weren't going well with any of the companies. If you were to run into a wall in your work or make a mistake, how would you handle it? If I were to make a mistake? Who knows? I can't answer that because I don't think I've ever run into any walls. What? What do you mean by that, Mr. Ohira? Well, that's exactly what I mean. As long as I learn how to do my job, there won't even be a possibility that I'll make a mistake or run into any walls. Sure, I see. You know what? You have a really high level of education and your background is quite impressive. But I think it might be a little bit difficult for you to work at our company. What? But why is that? What's the problem? You know, working in the real world isn't that easy. Anyway, thank you for your time. Next person waiting, you can come on in. I know that people say working in the real world isn't that easy, but I've never once in my life felt like anything was difficult, especially not when it came to studying or accomplishing any tasks. That's why I couldn't understand why all of these interviewers were so dissatisfied with me, and it was so strange. But then one day, I was on to another job interview, and I was given the opportunity to take the entrance exam for a pretty big company called Skatto.com. Recently, it was a company that was providing services overseas, and it was gaining a lot of attention in international businesses. I was also severely interested in this company. So first, it's a written exam. Alright, I got this. I'm gonna try to go for a perfect score again.
What's going on here? All of you! You've all got faces like you're good for nothing and were raised poorly. Pfft, whatever. Wasting our time. Half of you aren't even going to make it past this round anyway, and you're gonna be dropped. You're also so stupid that you would waste your own precious time trying to apply for something you're not even worthy of!
What is wrong with this person? He says some pretty awful things.
Ahem.
Mr. Waruroka, how is the new hire exam going?
Oh, sir, Mr. Tomita, nice to see you. What's the CEO doing here? How can I help you?
Well, I just wanted to see how it was going, especially since some of these people may be joining our company this year. Let's see here. Looks like there's a lot of promising young faces in the group.
Yes, exactly, I agree. That's exactly what it looks like. I'm sure it's because you're such a wonderful CEO, Mr. Tomita, and that's why all of these brilliant people have gathered here to work for you. And you know, this is just a testament to you, sir.
Excuse me? That's the complete opposite of what he was just saying 5 minutes ago!
Ha 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 ha, Mr. Waruroka, I think you're complimenting me a little bit too much. No need to flatter me. No, not at all, sir. Skatto.com only exists because you are our fearless CEO and leader.
From what I could gather, this man's name was Waruroka, and he must be in charge of hiring here at Skatto.com, but I could instantly tell that he was the type to immediately flip his personality in front of the CEO and suck up to him, but treat new hires and hopefuls completely differently. What a shame that there's somebody like that working at this company. That's a little bit disappointing to see. This was a company that I've been following for some time now, and in that moment, I had to admit that my motivation to work there did go down a little bit. But I tried to ignore him and reset my mood, and I decided to focus on the written exam. And then, a few days later, I found out that I easily passed the written exam, and once again, I was able to get through to the in-person interview. A couple of days later, I arrived at the company headquarters, and sitting arrogantly in the middle of the meeting room was that guy named Waruroka.
Well, Mr. Hiroshi Ohira, I must admit I was pretty surprised. The results of your written exam, Hiroshi, was actually a perfect score. We almost never see that.
Thank you. I'm very humbled.
This year we didn't get any decent people applying, so I didn't know what to do. But, well, you really saved me by showing up here. I mean, come on. I wish you could try to be me for a day. I have to deal with all of these worthless losers who think they have a chance.
Sure, but everyone's just doing their best. Why does he feel the need to drag all of these hopeful people every single time that he speaks?
Oh, by the way, Mr. Ohira, recently there's been a lot of idiots who aren't interested in getting promoted at work. But how do you feel about that?
Yes, I would actually like to see just how far I can take my knowledge and skills. So of course, I would like to keep pushing for the top and do my best to get promoted.
Oh, good answer. So, and what are your goals for the future?
Well, yes, see, it would be a great opportunity, so I think it would be fun to be able to become a CEO.
Huh? CEO? You're a funny guy, Hiroshi. What an answer! You really make me laugh.
Well, actually, ever since I was little, my mother raised me as a single mother, all on her own. And in the future, I would like to be able to make sure she has as easy of a life as possible, be able to provide for her.
Wait right there. What did you just say?
Yes? Did I say something strange?
Did you just say single mother? Wait a minute. Are you telling me that you only grew up in a single-parent household?
What? Oh, yes. I was raised by only my mother. What about that?
I see. You were raised by a single mother. Well, in that case, that's going to completely change this conversation.
Sorry? What do you mean by that, Mr. Waruroka?
Well, if you grew up with only a single mother, I'm sure you went through a lot of hardships, didn't you? You must have struggled quite a lot growing up, didn't you?
No, I didn't actually.
Don't worry, you don't have to explain it to me. I understand. I bet you were forced to help out with the chores around the house all the time. So you didn't even have time to study, did you? I mean, considering that, it looks like your grades were pretty good in school, but...
Yes, I have a good memory. And once I've heard something, I'll never forget.
Oh, please. Of course there's no way that anybody like that exists. Oh, I know. That must be it. Let me guess. You cheated your way through school, and that's how you got top grades, isn't that right?
Excuse me?
You were cheating in order to raise your grades, weren't you? Isn't that right? Wait a minute. The reason why your score was so good in our written application exam is that also because you cheated off of those around you? I see now. I understand. In that case, now it all makes sense to me.
Sorry, I don't understand what you're saying. Please, don't just understand something that's not even true. That's not the case at all. And of course there's no way that I would do something like that. I just studied really hard.
That reminds me. Your mother, if I'm reading this correctly, it says here that she was a scholar?
Yes, she was. What does that have to do with anything?
I see, I understand. So you were raised by your single mother who was a scholar, huh? Well, in that case, I suppose it makes sense that you grew up to be a kid with no manners or understanding of how the world works.
Hey, excuse me? Don't you think that you're being a little bit too rude? I don't care what you say about me, but stop belittling my mother like that!
See? That's exactly what I'm talking about. You get so mad quickly. My goodness, what kind of household were you raised in?
I'm sorry, but aren't you the one who's been saying things that would make anybody angry?
Excuse me? Don't put words in my mouth! When did I ever say anything like that? By the way, just a few minutes ago, you said that you wanted to join our company and said something about wanting to become the CEO. But there's no way. That's impossible for someone like you.
Excuse me? But that's not true. You'll never know unless you try it.
Nope, it's a fact and I know it. There's no way that somebody like you, raised in a single mother household, would be able to become the CEO of a company like this. Do you know why I know that? That's because you're not going to be hired here in the first place.
What?
You grew up in a single mother household, and that's why you're not going to be hired. Now please, hurry up and excuse yourself. Get out of my face! Get...
Not only was I rejected from this job for an illogical reason, on top of that, this man had made fun of my mother, and I couldn't contain my anger as I stormed out of the office. On my way out, I passed by some of the other hopefuls who were going into the meeting room, and I overheard Waruroka say things like,
"Oh please, you only went to a third-rate university. You're useless. Rejected. We're not hiring you." It's almost impressive that you thought you could get a job here with that education. At the very least, I'll say that I'll take that courage you've got. Now you belong at the bottom of society. Hurry up and get out!
And he was saying awful things like this to everybody. What is with this guy? What's wrong with him? I don't want to work for a company like this anyway. Forget it. When I got home that day, I told my mom everything that happened in the interview, without sparing any detail. Seriously, it was so irritating. I wish I could just punch that interviewer in the face.
Hey, Hiroshi, you can say that. If you were to do that, you know that you would get arrested and you would be wrong.
But still, I can't stand him.
But, well, if you want to give him a little bit of a shock, why don't you acquire that company?
What?
You want to give that interviewer a little bit of a shock, don't you?
Yeah, I do, but...
In that case, why don't we just acquire that company and then you can stand at the very top of it as the CEO?
Huh? Mom, what are you saying? I'm not understanding at all.
Oh my, Hiroshi, I know you can figure it out, but if you actually try, that would be easy for you, wouldn't it?
Well, I wouldn't say that I can't do it, but still.
Right? That's what I thought, because you are a genius after all.
No, I'm not like that at all, but
You know, back then, your dad told me that you wanted to raise you as a normal child without any special treatment, but...
what? I didn't know that Dad said that. You never told me.
Yes, they were his last words before he left us and went to heaven. And that's why, over these years, I really tried my best to lead you down the path of what I thought was normal for other kids, but... you didn't have any interest in anything like that. You were always walking around with thick, heavy books. But thanks to that, I'm the one that ended up becoming a complete gamer.
Yeah, I do remember those days.
And I know that your dad was just trying to do what was best for you, and that it was something he thought about. But, well, look at you now. You've grown up to become a proud adult, and I don't think that anything about it was wrong. You are you. You're the only one in the world, Hiroshi.
Mom, thanks. All right, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna try to acquire that entire company. All right, I'm gonna get my revenge on that guy.
That expression on your face. You look just like somebody that I used to know.
And so, that was how I decided that I was going to acquire Skatto.com, and I began setting up my plan for that. Now, as for how this was going to turn out, this will continue in part 2. Thank you for watching all the way till the end. Don't forget to subscribe and smash that like button. And if you have time, please check out our other videos as well. Alright then, see you next time. Bye.